Alright guys, welcome back. So after some adjustments, I think it's time we can move back to a retopologizing program to do the topology. Now ZBrush can do topology, but it's not very good. I don't like using it. I don't see a lot of people using it just because of the limitation that ZBrush have. There are many really cool retopologizing tools, things like Topogun, Maya, 3ds Max, whatever, but I just don't like to do that in ZBrush. So just to keep things simple, we're going to limit the program we use. We're going to use Maya for the retopologizing. Okay. To do that, first of all, we need to have a model to retopologize. Now we have the body and head separated. Now there's no problem, and I don't even bother having that little seam there. That's not going to be a problem at all, but I kind of wanted to combine them together. Okay, to do so, I'm gonna go for the Z plugin, and there is a transpose master. Now the use of transpose master is not actually for the combining things together, but I use it to actually get a combined model really quickly. Okay, so let me go ahead and say T-pose mesh. Okay, this is going to temporarily combine all the visible mesh into one geometry. Oh, this is one thing I wanted to also do before I do that though. So let's go back to the previous tool. Now this list is the tool list. Okay, and you can create multiple tools by adding new things. You can see you have a new tool. That one with a number 3 on it, that's our original model, okay, because you have 3 subtools. So I'm gonna say, before I do that, I'm also gonna go to geometry and then delete lower, so that way this guy does not have a lower resolution. Okay, that way I can go back to the transform again, the plugin again, and T-pose mesh. Okay, now this is gonna give me the combined mesh. Okay. Alright, and with this combined mesh, you can see it does have only one subtool, and I'm gonna make it also simpler because it has 1.5 million polygons. That's probably too much. Okay, so I'm gonna go for a Z plugin again, and there is a decimation master. Okay, and then you can say I just want something like 250k, so you can click there to let it go through the process and make it somewhere around 250k points, and that's gonna drastically reduce the count of the polygons, and so that Maya can handle it properly. Now Maya is not very good on handling high resolution models, so we have to do this. Okay, although this is gonna take a while, so you may need to be a little bit more patient while you're doing it. Okay, and when that is done, you can take a look at the topology. You can see now it's very different, and it's trying to simplify the poly count or reduce the poly count when it's possible, and this is how much we have now. Okay, alright, so afterwards we can just say let's export it to Maya and start retopologizing. Go here to the export, and we can save it as body for Retopo. Okay, and back to Maya, and we can start retopologizing. In case you never used Maya before, I can just do a simple introduction to Maya. So Maya is the industry standard for content creation and movie production, and the viewport navigation is Alt middle mouse button to panning, Alt left mouse button to rotate the camera, Alt right mouse button to zoom in and out. Okay, and those tools are the moving and rotation tools. You can click on those, or QWER for toggling to different tools. Okay, and those are the menu bars and everything, but I think we don't need to explain everything to start. Let's go file and import. Okay, oops, and then import that body for Retopo. Okay. Alright, now we have the model here. You can see it's actually the head is at the origin because we started with the sphere, and that's why it's over there. Right now, my suggestion would be don't change it at all. Just keep it there. If you move it, you cannot go back and reproject the detail back anymore. So just be aware of that. Anyway, so to select the model, you can just drag and select to select it, and then you can see QWER are different gizmos for moving, rotation, and scale. Okay, and for every model in my end though, you have an object mode, which is holding down right mouse button, go to object to select it. You can also go to different vertices by holding down right mouse button and go to vertex. You can also try go to edge and face and see what they're doing. They just allow you to manipulate different elements of the model. Okay, you can go back to object mode to go back. All right, and then one of the handy things I do is, let's say I have a different model. Here, if I have like a polymodeling, I can create a square. I can hit W and drag it out. Now, if I have a lot of model, I can select one of them and Control 1. You can see I'm isolating the model I'm selecting now. The box is no longer visible. And you can Control 1 again to go back. Now, that's also this button over here. Okay, and that's one thing I think I use a lot. So I think for now, let's just introduce those basics. We're not gonna go any detail of how Maya works. It takes you years to understand Maya. So anyway, let me just grab this model, and there's one thing I want to do is hit this little magnet button to make it live. That means everything I do will be snapped to the surface of this model. Okay, and let me also go to the modeling toolkit, which is going to be this guy. Okay, and you can go down to the last button here called Quad Draw Tool. Turn that on. Okay, this is going to allow you to draw vertices on the face to create topologies. One more thing you want to go ahead and do is underneath symmetry, turn on the symmetry and change that to Object X. Okay, now you can start clicking and dragging on the model surface of the model to start dropping down vertices. Okay, let me click and drag to create 4 vertices, and then I can holding down Shift and click to fill in a face. Afterwards, I can still drag those vertices around to refine their positioning, and you can see they are always going to be snapped to the surface of this model. Okay. One more thing I think that are worth mentioning is here, if you don't know some of the shortcut I'm using, you can go to the keyboard and mouse shortcut. You can see that's all the things you can do with this Quad Draw Tool. Okay, anyway, let me drag 2 more points and fill in. You can see it's filling in a face from the 2 points I just drew out and the edge from the previous polygon I drew out. I can keep going with that, or I can also hit holding down the tab button and left mouse drag out to extrude that edge to start really creating the surfaces. What I'm trying to do now is using polygon to represent the contour of the eyelid. Okay, keep dragging out. Now you may wonder, okay, how much do I really need? Now there is no specific number, but I would say at least you can represent the curvature with ease. Okay, so we are doing a game character depending on, of course, how much polygon you can accept, right? If you can accept more, then you probably will have more, because the more polygon you have, the easier it is for later stages like texturing, rigging, because the model will be more flexible to do different shapes, and it's also harder to get stretching when you have a lot of geometry already on the texturing part. Okay, so let me keep doing this until I have filled in the circular shape around the eyelid. Okay, alright, cool. So that's gonna be the first video here on retopologizing. We just imported the model and create a circular shape around the eye, and moving on to the next, we're gonna keep going with the topology. Okay, see you next time.